Did you know that famous people such as Daniel Radcliffe and Sarah Jeffrey both have OCD? Daniel has stated having compulsions to repeat statements he has made under his breath. He recommends going to therapy for it, as it doesn't mean you're weak for going. Sarah has commented about the importance of having dark days to see the light of your better days. She has mentioned how everyone has their bad days and good days with their OCD. They're not the only ones. In fact, other famous people such as David Beckham, Leonardo DiCaprio, Cameron Diaz and many more also have OCD too. They have told you their stories, now it's time I tell you mine. OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, is an anxiety disorder involving the way that your mind thinks. It can come from family genes, family history of having it, a life-changing event, or stress and anxiety. OCD causes your mind to obsess over things that you think could potentially happen rather than things that will. You see, OCD causes your mind to obsess over certain situations and make you think that something bad will happen if you don't do a compulsion to prevent it. OCD can range in many categories, from intrusive thoughts, contamination worry, ordering and arranging fear, fear of certain numbers and words, hoarding OCD, checking and or asking for reassurance and more. OCD causes the sufferer to ask for reassurance to their intrusive thoughts or check places or things for themselves for reassurance that everything is okay, mostly repeatedly asking or checking more and more. Hi, my name is Abigail and I'm currently studying creative media at college. I have had OCD, well, say I still have. When I hit the age of 18, a few months into it, suddenly everything changed. I began to have bad thoughts and urges and I didn't know what to do about it. My mind suddenly gave me bad thoughts where I had to check people around me to see if they were okay. I had feared that I'd hurt them somehow, so I had to check behind me constantly as I went past people to see if they were alright. I remember staring at people as they'd walk away just to check if they were okay. It just began from when I did something simple. I wrote my own fan fiction online and I started to worry about copyright and feared that I would get into trouble for it. I thought I would be arrested for it and it made me panic so much that caused my mind to obsess over doing things wrong, and that caused my OCD, which shows that you can get it from anywhere at all, really. I was scared and I didn't know what was going on. The nature of these thoughts can be so bad and so powerful that it prevents you from wanting to talk about them, so you hide it. Until one day I told the truth. I remember I was 19 years old and I discussed with my parents the truth about the bad thoughts I was having, and they helped me get booked into the doctors. The doctor told me that I had anxiety and gave me a booklet with some therapy phone numbers. I admit I did have the numbers given to me on Monday, but I didn't phone them until Thursday. But once I did, everything around me changed. I was sent a few tests through my email to answer before my phone call appointment would begin with a therapist. And that was just so they could find out what was troubling me, what was going on with me. I had my phone call appointment the next day with a lovely therapist who discussed with me my symptoms and what to do next in the meantime before my first cognitive behavioural therapy session would begin. Now I know what to do to combat my OCD thoughts and worries, and I know that my therapists are always there for me if I ever need them for any help again. OCD is really tough, but you're not alone. In fact, 1 to 3% of the world's population are known to have OCD, and it can be hard to get through. OCD is very hard to battle. The thoughts become time-consuming and tiring, but my therapist taught me that thoughts are just thoughts, they don't shape who you are. There are things you can do to cut off these thoughts without tiring yourself out. One of the things you can do is say to it whatever and then move on to something else. Another thought you can remember is that every problem is fixable. That's what helps me on my bad days. can be very tough having a family member with OCD. You may not know where to begin to help them, but you must remember to try to be patient with their recovery and try not to answer their reassurance questions, as it can make them worse because it will reimburse the problem. To help out, you could try asking their therapist on how to answer their questions, or you could check out this website to help you. The media represents OCD as a bad disorder that makes people villains of the stories and crazy people, but that's not true. Just because you have OCD, it doesn't make you a bad person or capable of the thoughts you face every day. Remember, OCD can be very tough, so it's good to reach out and get support from it in its early stages, so you can prevent it before it gets worse. You're not alone. It takes time and dedication to get through it, but if I can get through it, then so can you.